Hi, Evelyn. Nice to meet you. For those who don't know you yet, could you explain maybe in a few words who you are and what you do at Deutsche Telekom?
So my name is Evelyn Jacobs. I'm over 50 years old and I work in Telekom Deutschland. I'm responsible for the area of credit and collection. And in addition, I run as business owner Fachseite, the digital hub credit and collection in the IT area.
Cool. So you have kind of responsibility over how many people is that?
So in the German company, it's 80 people, and in the hub, it's 140 people.
So that's quite a lot. So there are companies in the world which are smaller than that.
Very
So
true.
as we talk about agile today, so the first thing is like the first time. So how did you get in touch with agile and what was your first impression?
Well, actually, I had twice in my life the first time with Agile. The first time, the true first time was when I was working in a Europe segment as commercial manager. And then there was an HR initiative on Agile leadership. So we all had to go through workshops. But in the end, it was you attended the workshop and then you went back to your business. The second time, which is for me the real first time, was around 2 years ago. It was a 4-day workshop together with my peers from finance and IT, together with you guys from the Mayflower department, where we worked out how we want to cooperate business and IT together in the future. And this really got me on the hook for Agile.
So actually, I didn't know that was your first time. So we shared the first time. So that's really cool. I didn't know that. So, but it was a cool workshop, those 4 days. That's true.
Yes.
So that was your first time. Thanks. But what has happened since? I mean, what has changed for your teams, for your hub, and maybe also for you?
Many things, but since it's already late in the evening, I wouldn't tell you all of the things. So on my business side, we strengthened even further the activities around customer experience. Yeah, so formats like Ideenschmiede or design thinking approach have become quite common in developing our patterns. And for example, in 2 weeks' time, we have a Kundenwerkstatt where even Klaus Werner is attending and discussing really with true customers how we should design our process for them to make it easier. If I look at the hub, so this is the initiative where I took part in the IT at Motion, and I decided to find people who are also interested to go together on this journey to see if it does make sense to have a digital hub for credit and collection. And we were 8 people from very different areas, which was an asset. And then in the end, we launched the hub in the beginning of this year. And in 3 weeks' time, we have our third PIP. Very excited.
So it changed a lot.
Yes.
So obviously. So is this also, I mean, for you personally, have you also changed or maybe your behavior or something?
It's difficult to say if you changed yourself. The feedback that I get is yes, that some areas change, but to me it was also, and therefore it got me so strongly on the hook, that the agile methodology, the agile thinking is getting very close to my general leadership principles. So I'm a strong believer that motivators are these 3 topics from Dan Pink. Yeah, so the purpose, the mastery, and the autonomy of people. And this is exactly what we do in our hub and what I also try to implement in my business organization. Yeah, so therefore, it really fits for me perfectly. But I think I also changed, especially when it comes to failure culture, which is a big thing for our engineer company, DT. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Next, sources of inspiration. So I think you haven't started out of nowhere. Did you have some sources of inspiration or support during that change? And maybe you can name a few.
Definitely I can. So for me, the biggest source of inspiration and support is my peer BO from the Digital Hub, Nicole. She's also really into the topic, a strong believer in people, in their development potential, so the logic of the growth mindset. And we jointly work also towards a learning organization to become better and better and better by using the agile methodology, but also living the agile values. Then, sorry.
So this peer, this is also a manager on your level, but from the other side,
from
like
the
from
IT
the IT
side. Yes, exactly, exactly. And we're also looking together if it does make sense to build this digital hub credit and collection. Yeah. So, but there are two other elements I would like to point out. So I participated in the Level Up program, Leading Agile. And there I also found a lot of good ideas from the loop approach. I liked it a lot. Yeah? So which you can also use just in your daily business, even without becoming the true agile department. It helps a lot to improve. And inspiration for me is also simply just do it. Yeah, find people around you from different areas who are also interested to go on this journey towards the agile working mode, and then just do it and learn by doing it.
Cool. You mentioned there's another thing, or third thing, or is this?
This was the third thing. The first one was my peer BO.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Cool. The untold stories. So you have a lot of experience now, and I bet you have some stories to share. Maybe some stories of failure, maybe of great success. So is there anything that you want to share with our audience, like some things you want others to do as well, or some pitfalls you can warn people about? So
yeah, still very present in my mind is the challenge that we have in the Digital Hub. The biggest challenge what we have is language. So we have in the hub people who only speak German. We have in the hub people who only speak English, and we have people who speak both languages, which is the majority. And then, so how do you do the PIP? Yeah, so you don't want to lose anyone. So the first PIP was done everything double. Yeah, so double speech, double documents, and so on. And when we looked at the feedback, so people were not so happy about it somewhat. Yeah? So they said it's a lot of work. It takes very long because you need twice as long for the same presentation. And for the bilingual people, it was simply boring, yeah, to hear the same thing in a different language. So, and then we asked, of course, for feedback, how to change it for the next PIP. There was some feedback, very limited, but also quite different in the opinions. So we took a decision for the PIP number 2 that we had, where we said, so we will talk English because this is anyway the future in IT. Yeah, so, and we will do the documents in both languages and also show it in both languages while the presentation is done. And this really created a huge, it's not really a shitstorm, but very close to it. Big frustrations, bad vibrations, and it was a big fuss afterwards. And then we said, okay, how we get out of this, because this is blocking also people working. And then Nicole prepared 2 30 minutes calls where she explained what was our situation on the program level, our problem, what we wanted to solve, and what was our rationale to decide the way we decided. And also mentioning that what we decided obviously was not the best thing in the end, and we're going to change it. So that means admitting the failure. And even these 30 minutes call, it changed immediately how people were thinking, how they were behaving. And again, there was back the energy for working in our hub. So to me, the learning was really, in the first place, the mistake was taking the decision is okay, but always explain why you do it, especially if people are potentially affected in a negative way. But if you feel something, really address it openly, be transparent, and then you simply can cure the situation. Yeah? It might not be that many people think this is agile, but to me, this is also coming back to the one of the agile principles of openness.
Mm-hmm. So this is pretty interesting that you mentioned this story, because as you said, this at the first glance, it has nothing to do with agile. It's not about any methodology and stuff, but I think that's something that we pretty easy forget. It's all about humans. All the organizations are full of humans, and we cannot ignore that fact. And if we behave also by good intent, not very good for the people, so we can create a lot of resistance, a lot of upsetness and shitstorms, as you said. So we really need to be careful, like how we approach the topic. Thank you very much for bringing that up.
Yeah, it was for me also a big learning, and it still is very present in my head. Yeah.
Cool. On your radar. So you have done a lot, you have experienced a lot. Is there something on your radar, maybe in the next future, where you think like, I'm not quite sure how to approach that, and maybe you can use the Agile community to help you?
Of course, I mean, I consider ourselves still at the very beginning of our journey, and there's more to learn than we have learned so far. Yeah. So, but one thing that is keeping me and also some of my peers very busy is how do we balance the general principle of having end-to-end and full responsibility in the digital hub or in the Scrum team, yeah, versus that we actually have today responsibility for the business result on the business side in TDG. If I look at TDG as one company and TELIT as the other company, yeah, so we merge it, but it's still process organization. It's not true organization. And to make it tangible with one example is a simple one. Look at payment terms. This is run and further developed by the hub, yeah, so or by the team in the hub. But the determination of payment terms per customer or customer group is done on the business side. So actually, why we are doing payment terms and doing it in the system is to have a low DSO so that we get the money fast. Yeah? So this is an important financial KPI. But in the end, this is mainly determined by setting the level of payment terms, and so therefore, the hub has no influence on the outcome. And this is also what we want to have, that people are not just doing the feature, but they get responsible for the outcome. There are many reasons why we cannot do this now. I would love to have a discussion on that, either in a coffee round or so, or different formats that you offer, or if somebody around has had the same situation or tried something out to get learnings from their experience, that would be very, very helpful for me. I would love to have that.
That's a good idea. I mean, we have hopefully a lot of viewers for that video. And is there someone who has maybe the same experience or the same situation, the same problem, you can reach out to Evelyn. We're going to put her email address below the video. And so you can reach out and have a chat. I mean, and as you mentioned, we have this Agile coffees every month. You can also show up there, and maybe you find someone to connect to. And of course, we have the Agile Barcamp, the Agilista Barcamp, which is coming up in December 4th. So could be a pretty cool topic, because we want to focus on agility on business level. And obviously, we have two companies involved at the moment, which is Deutsche Telekom Germany, and we have the IT, which is a separate department, not a separate department, a separate company. And we need to create value creation over two companies. So this could be a very good topic there. Thank you very much, Evelyn, for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure, as always. And for the rest of you, this is a new format. We have not a title for it yet. So if you think like, I have a great idea for how this format should be called, please leave a comment below under the video. And if you have a great idea, we're going to pick yours. So have a good time. See you next time, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.